Welcome everybody to Our Green Acres. The inspiration for today's video is from a 9-year-old sweet friend, and her name is Emma. Her grandmother reached out to me a few weeks ago and said that Emma watched my videos and she enjoyed decoupage. And she asked if sweet Emma could send me some napkins. She wanted to share some of her napkins that she uses on her projects with me. And I said absolutely. So not only does Emma enjoy watching my videos and gets inspiration from me, I also get inspiration from Emma. Emma sent me some of the most prettiest napkins I've ever seen, and she absolutely knew my style. So in today's video, I'm going to use some of the beautiful napkins that Emma sent me and show you how easy it is to upcycle some projects using a decoupage method and how beautiful these projects can turn out. So y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and let's get started. Now the projects that I'm going to work on and use the napkins on are going to be some things that I already have on hand. I'm not going to purchase anything new, but if you do want to get some of these items, they can easily be purchased from a dollar store, or you can thrift them, or some of them are going to be free. We may already have them around our house. And as you can see, the little hang tag that I'm working on in this project was from Dollar General, and it was only $1. I just chalk painted it, gave it one layer, and you always want to pull all the sheets of your napkin apart until you get the one that has the design on it. A lot of napkins will be 2-ply or 3-ply, but just pull those sheets apart, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I'm going to apply all of my napkins in today's video using DIY Liquid Patina, but you could also use Mod Podge or any decoupage medium that you prefer. Once it dries, you just go around the edges and you just sand them off to remove any excess paper. Now this makes a beautiful little hang tag. You just go through with a little pencil and you poke back through the hole. You can add ribbons to it and attach this to wreaths. You can put this on baskets. Just a really pretty embellishment that you can, hang on things for the spring and the summertime. I've got another one of those hang tags that I got at Dollar General, so I'm going to do the same thing to it. I painted it white with some chalk paint, and you can see this is what it was on the other side, so later on I can always use the other side if I want to. Now I removed the other sheets of the napkin. They usually pull apart really easy. Just be really careful because these napkins, they're like tissue paper, so they're kind of fragile, and that's what you want to do when you're applying them to your project. Just be very gentle with them and be careful with them with your paintbrush, and even if you go over them with a brayer. Now just depending on what kind of texture of project you have, some of these you can roll over with a brayer and smooth out any wrinkles or bubbles. It just depends. The next project, I'm going to use a round blank. Now I'm sure you can pick these up at any craft store and probably Hobby Lobby for sure, but I got mine in a scrapbook kit a couple of years ago at a yard sale, and I paid a couple of dollars for the whole kit, and I think I got 6 of these rounds in it. So a very inexpensive project piece. I painted it with white chalk paint because when you add any kind of decoupage paper, or in this case napkins, you want a white background to really make your design pop, and none of your background on your project will show through. Now I'm just going to use my liquid patina. I'm going to work in sections, and then I'm going to go over the top of it and seal it down really well. And like I've told y'all, just be real careful when you're applying your napkin. Just gently brush it so you don't tear your paper. Now again, once your decoupage medium dries really good, just go around with a sanding block or a piece of sandpaper, sand off the excess paper and smooth out your edges. I just went through, poked the hole back through using a pencil, and now you can add a pretty bow to it. And once you get your hang tag embellished, now it's ready. You can just set this out in your vignettes, or this would be a great piece to add to gift bags. If you got a gift you're going to give to someone special, this right here just adds a special touch. Okay, y'all, are y'all enjoying decoupage so far? I know I am. I spent a whole day just having fun with these napkins and designing projects using them. And like I say, these are so budget friendly to do, and it's so easy. Once you get started, I don't think you'll be able to quit. Now I'm going to take this beautiful napkin. I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know where Emma got her napkins from, but let me tell you, she has a great source, because these are some of the prettiest napkins I've ever seen. Now I got this little whitewashed plaque at Walmart in the craft center, and I think it was like $2 or $3. But you can also, I've seen these at Dollar General in their craft center. But again, I'm just going to add this in sections. I'm going to apply this to this little board, but just giving you ideas of things that you may already have on hand, or things that you can maybe find at the dollar store that will be very inexpensive, but you can make some really pretty decor out of them by just using some really pretty napkins. Now, to speed up the drying time for your decoupage medium, you can use a blow dryer or a heat gun. I attached the ribbons to this. I tied it on a wreath that I have in my bedroom. I also have this wreath linked to my Amazon store, and I'm going to link it down below. This wreath right here I leave out all year long, so if you are looking for a beautiful wreath, I highly recommend this one. Now using a little wood plaque blank. This you can get at Dollar General or Dollar Tree. And I've already put something on the other side, but like I've always told y'all, if you've got a project that's got two sides to it, I love to embellish both sides. You can always flip them over. Now this is a beautiful bunny napkin. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to make two projects out of this. I'm not going to waste the bunny on the end. I'm going to find something to put him on. He is too cute to not use him. Now, like I told y'all, you go around and seal your edges really well just to make sure your paper doesn't come back up. And once it dried really well, I took a piece of sandpaper and I went around all the edges and I sanded them off really well. Now I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of ribbon to the sides of these just to make a hanger, and I'm going to hang this on a wreath. Okay, now let's work on that little bunny that we had left over. I'm just going to take a piece of scrap wood. This is just a piece of a 2x4. Y'all, I always have scrap wood laying around, so just a 2x4 piece of wood. I'm going to chalk paint it on all the sides and on the front. And now I'm going to just cut my little bunny off. While this project, the previous project was drying, I just cut my bunny off. And he had a little rip in his face, but I'm going to fix it as I apply him. And like I told y'all, working with napkins, they're fragile, so you have to be really careful. But they're also pretty user-friendly. So if you rip your paper by accident or something, you can always go back and fix it, or just put a little piece of tissue paper or napkin in that spot where you may have tore it, and you can just decoupage that down, and a lot of times you'll never know. So a lot of times these napkins, even though they're fragile, they're pretty user-friendly. Now this project is going to be a little piece of scrapbook paper, because in my things that Emma sent me, she sent me some little scrapbook paper squares, and I'm sure she probably got those at Hobby Lobby, but if not, I know Hobby Lobby sells a huge selection of scrapbook paper, and a lot of times if you go on half price week, you can get it very inexpensive. So this is a little piece that was so cute. It had some little bunnies on it and some lavender, and I'm going to apply it to this little plaque. And I did a project, a video using this plaque, I think last year. But I'm just applying this little piece of scrapbook paper to my plaque. And you always, when you use scrapbook paper, it's a little bit of a thicker texture. So you want to put your decoupage medium on your project base and also put it on your scrapbook paper on the back of it, and it will apply a whole lot better. I just rolled it out using my brayer. I added some little decorative thumbtacks in the holes just to make it look like a little plaque, and I tied it on a pretty basket that I have. Next project is going to be a thrifted piece. Now I thrifted this a while back at Goodwill, and I paid $1.99 for it. As you can see, it come from Marshall's and it was $4.99. I loved working on hearts, and this one right here I thought was so pretty, and I was going to do something with it around Valentine's, but I just never got around to it. But I thought this would be a perfect project piece for this beautiful floral napkin. This is a whole sheet, y'all. Beautiful florals. I love this. And randomly throughout the napkin, it's got a few little gold hearts and some gold keys. So as you'll see in just a minute, I positioned the napkin on the heart to where it got that gold heart right in the center. So I applied it to the heart using my DIY Liquid Patina, and then I'm going to roll over it very gently with my brayer. I let it dry, and then I'll go around it with my sandpaper and sand the edges. Now I'm going to make a couple more projects using that beautiful floral napkin. This sheet right here, we can do so many projects with it. Now I got these little blocks a while back at Goodwill, and I paid 99 cents each for them. I had a video previously that I did some other projects with these using some other decoupage paper. But I had a couple of these little blocks left over, and I just painted it white, and then I'm going to go over it and apply this napkin. And again, I'm going to center another one of those little gold hearts right in the center. I'm going to let this dry, sand it off, and now we got a great little shelf sitter that we can set out for spring and summertime. Here's another idea using that beautiful paper. This is like a little guacamole sign that I got at Goodwill, and I paid 99 cents for it. I just removed that little soda tab that they'd use for a hanger, which that was very innovative. And again, I'll just go over it with a quick coat of white chalk paint, and then I'm going to apply the paper using my decoupage medium, and then I'm going to work in sections. I'll go over the top, seal it in really good, let it dry, and then we're going to sand it. Now I use my brayer on this piece. It worked really well, and it'll smooth out any wrinkles or bubbles that you may have. Now this, I'm just going to leave the sides that pretty green that, the front of it was, and I think it pairs really well with the green in the napkin. Now I am going to get Ben to help me with this. I'm going to get him to drill a hole in the top, and then I'm just going to add a little twine hanger, and now it's ready for me to hang or set out in my vignettes. And if y'all watched my channel for very long, or if you're new here, I'm going to let y'all know I don't waste anything. If we can use it, I'm gonna try to give y'all an idea for it. This is the one of the sheets that I pulled off of that floral napkin. The dye from the florals was so bright that it bled through to that other sheet that was underneath. So I thought it was so pretty with those muted pinks and greens. And I thought, well, I'm going to apply it to another one of these little blocks that I have and see what it looks like. Well, I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. It looks really shabby chic with its little muted and pinks. And I just, went around it. I sanded it down really good around the edges and gave it a distressed look. And now look, what I was going to throw in the trash, I think, turned out to be such a pretty piece. So just get creative with the things that you have. And like I say, I'm using things that I have on hand and things that probably I would have threw in the trash. And look what we just created. Now this project could be a trash to treasure. If you've got an old coffee can or an old paint can, don't throw those away. We can use those and make decor out of them. I've done lots of projects using these. Just to save some time, I took this outside and I gave it a couple of layers of spray paint. I used some Rust-Oleum flat white, and also I used some that was inexpensive from Walmart. So just use whatever white spray paint you have. Give it a couple of coats. Take it back inside, and now we're going to make a beautiful vase out of this can. We can add greenery and florals to this, and it's going to be so pretty. But I'm going to take this beautiful napkin that Emma sent. This one has got pears all over it, and I told y'all, Emma knows my style. She has been watching my videos. Bless her heart. So I'm going to trim this down to where it will go around the rim of my can and fit the best. And once I get it trimmed down, then I'm just going to apply it using my Liquid Patina, and I'm going to go around the can, and I'm going to work in sections. And like I've told y'all, be very careful. Just kind of go over it very gently with your brush. Get it worked in if your can has grooves like mine. And I'm just trying to get it worked in. And I'm going to work in sections as I go. Do one section at a time until I get it all the way around the can. Now, my strip of napkin will not fit all the way around my can, but I'll show you in just a minute how we can piece it together. We'll kind of trim it down, piece it together, and then that way we will have the design all the way around the can. Applying this around this can in this big section, the best technique that I found with my brush was just go over it very gently so you don't tear your napkin, and also kind of pat it. Doing this, that will avoid getting any rips in it, and it applied really well actually. Now I had to get creative to place my other strip of napkin, because the way this design is, you didn't want two Eiffel Towers right next to each other. So I'm trying to trim down one of the Eiffel Towers to where it will finish out the one that I already have on the can, and then I'm kind of folding this back, and I'm going to make a line to where I'll know where to cut the other side, and then I'll place it in that section, and then we'll finish out, the napkin on the can. And that's the best way that I come up with. This will probably be the back of my can, so I'll just turn this one around since it's not the prettiest side, but the front of it is absolutely beautiful, and I love the way this turned out. Once this dried and I styled it with my greenery, I thought, oh yes, like I say, don't ever throw away those empty coffee cans or those paint cans, because y'all, we can make some great decor just using some napkins and some decoupage medium. We can go to town and make some beautiful decor. the next project is going to be free for me because this is another piece of scrap wood. This is just the top off of a wood fence, and I painted it black. I'm sure I used it for another project at some point, but I'm just going to put a layer of white chalk paint over it, and then we're going to use this beautiful lavender napkin. Also, this is one of the prettiest napkins I've ever seen, and I love lavender, especially in the springtime. It just screams spring to me. But I'm going to apply it to this little fence, and then I'm just going to go over it with my blow dryer. And a lot of times, if you apply heat to let your decoupage medium dry, sometimes it really works out some of those little wrinkles and bubbles that you may have. Because once that heat hits it, it kind of makes it kind of flatten out and adhere to your base a lot better. So then I'm just going to go around with my sandpaper, sand down my edges, and I think this made a beautiful wood tag that we can add to just anything like our baskets, whatever we have on hand. I got Ben to drill a hole in the top. I'm going to add a ribbon to it, and I'm going to add it to this beautiful basket, and I added some really pretty lavender sprigs. This last item is just what I want to show y'all that you've seen all throughout my video, but I thrifted this beautiful picnic basket, and I think it styles so well using today's projects. But I just want to show you some things that you can find when you're out thrifting or if you're out yard selling this spring and summertime. These beautiful baskets make great decor pieces, and I got this one at Goodwill and I only paid $6.99 for it. But I absolutely love this. I love the way the top comes up, and y'all saw how pretty it is styled with florals. So just another little decor idea for you to look for, maybe like I say, when you're out thrifting or yard selling. Another piece of floral that I used in today's video, I'm going to leave a link for this beautiful candle ring or wreath. I styled it, and I'm going to leave a link for it down below. And also, the DIY Liquid Patina, I'm going to leave a link of where you can purchase it. I was also able to go out to Amazon and link a lot of these napkins that I used today, or some that were similar in my Amazon store, and they're under Decoupage supplies. So if you like some of these napkins you saw in today's projects, go to my Amazon store and go to the Decoupage supply category, and I've got some linked in there for y'all that I feel like you will really enjoy using on your decor. I hope y'all had a great time watching the video today. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it out with your friends. Until the next video, I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye, y'all.